Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to A Drink with Crazy. What's going on, everybody? Oh, God. The epic return of the Rippaverse. Oh, it's going to be a good night. I'm so excited for this. Oh, my God. Well, I've been asking about this for, like months, and they were like, no, we're done with you. And then I just got so annoying that they were like, fuck, all right, well, whatever. We'll go on his show, so we'll shut up.
It's true.
Carol, call him a liar.
I'm going to put the DMs on X right now, and he can't prove me wrong because he's not on X.
Oh, my God, what's going on? Hey, Tim Allen, we got Lee Yu, we got Nikolai Paulwell. What's going on, man? Oh, it's good to see everybody in the chat. I'm very excited for this. So, the reason that I asked well, not everybody, but the Ripper crew to come back on is because the first time that I had the Ripper crew come on was very early on when the Rippaverse was going, and that conversation was like, we hear, obviously Eric was still doing regular daily shows and daily updates and stuff like that, but it was very much Eric forward. And I was like, man, I know there's a lot of people in the background here working. And it's like, they do launch day and the hamsters weren't working. And there was that joke and all that stuff. And there was just stuff happening in the background. Well, since then, I know that I still have a lot of people that follow the channel. They're very excited about the Rippaverse. And I thought it would be interesting to see how the hell all the background characters, that's what I'm going with, have been dealing with the growth of the Rippaverse and what they've been doing in the meantime. You guys, how many, so you've brought on Drunk 3PO, you did the Flash, because you guys launched Rip Ascend, which, let's get into that. That was insane.
Yeah.
You guys have been doing animated shorts, also insane. Bringing on more people. And from my perspective, the output and the launch cycles have just been, it's like you guys have how many projects going on simultaneously? All of that I want to cover. But for those of you who don't know, which you all know, but why don't you guys introduce yourself? Well, we will start with the lady with the new haircut, which all of us were surprised about. Hi, Carol.
Hello, my name is Carol Brown. I'm the executive assistant over at Rippaverse. I pretty much do whatever Eric tells me to do, and then I remind Eric everything he's supposed to do. So that's what I do.
Wait. Is that the equivalent of your dad's like, hey, wake me up from my nap at this time. And then you go wake him up and you're like, hey, you told me to wake you up at this time. And they're like, what the fuck?
It's usually more like, he's like, okay, I'm going to do some videos. You can't do a video because you have a meeting with the finance people. And he's like, oh, shit. And it's like, so, okay, I'm going to do the videos after the meeting. It's like, okay, but you have another meeting after that meeting. He's like, how many meetings do I have? It's like, your calendar says you have 5.
It's like
if your schedule just screamed at you. That's Carol.
That's so great. I love it. And let's go. Igor. This is your first time on the channel, so give us your first introduction on A Drink with Crazy.
Hello everyone. I've been watching your channel since the beginning, so I know some of the people in the chat. I'm Igor. I'm the lead artist and illustrator at the Rippaverse, responsible for a lot of the character art that goes into the YouTube channel and whatever. A lot of different hats too, but basically graphic design, artwork. That's what I do.
Awesome.
Since the beginning.
Awesome. Oh, do I make a joke here? Nah, Bucket. Andrew, introduce yourself, good sir.
Wow, I'm almost disappointed. I am Andrew Rodriguez. I've been here before, but as
holy fuck, I forget your last name is Rodriguez.
I know it. I don't show it very well.
Dude, you're whiter than me.
Yeah.
I know. Well, you see the outdoors. Yeah. I don't.
I
sit here somewhere around 8 a.m. each morning, and I seldom move. So the sun doesn't touch my skin.
I didn't know they made Rodriguez's in that color.
They do. We come in all sorts of shades.
Oh, no, No, here's some fun
There's
lore
some
for
deep
you.
lore there. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
No, because
no.
when we launched and everybody saw Andrew Rodriguez, they just accused us of hiring like some like Mexican guy. And so Andrew was always posting like this what the fuck look picture of himself under that. And everybody was like, who's this guy? It's like, that's Andrew.
Yeah.
I
That
remember,
is some fun lore.
I remember the
completely-
first time I saw him, like the because I
Like-
was like, oh, Rodriguez, oh, he's maybe around my corner or something like that, and it was like, no, I'm white as they come.
Oh wait,
Like,
there's a
oh.
really important question for Andrew from Tim Allen right here. I think you should put it up.
Oh God. Oh.
Nope, one of us.
Wait, I know. The chat's
one.
moving. There we go.
It's a work in progress. That was the most judgmental side sip I have ever seen Caro give me, and she's shot me quite a few over the last 3
Good.
years. I just
Good.
want to put that out there.
You deserve it.
But yeah, I'm the creative manager over the Rippaverse. I get to be surrounded by a bunch of talented people day in, day out, and be counted among the people who is tasked with managing those creatives, which can be like herding cats sometimes. I also am our social media manager, so most of the stuff that y'all see that's posted from any of our official channels is usually handled by myself, unless Eric gets a wild hair and he decides to post something, but that doesn't happen all that often, at least not from the official Rippaverse channels. And I'm also one of our editors, and I'm now I guess at least for the time being, a writer. I have these fun little one-page pigeon comic strips in our Rippazines, and those are a ton of fun.
That's awesome. Yeah, you guys have had so much going on since the last time when I think I had you on initially, and I know Caro's been back a few times. We've had the Saskas on a few times, but we haven't talked shop like we did the first time that everybody was on. I know, Andrew, you joined me for that one birthday stream, which we got a bunch of haters in the chat, and you were like, dude, I'm so sorry. I'm like, I don't give a shit, dude. That was great as fuck.
It was a fun time.
It was fun.
Wasn't that also the one where like you had to step away for like 15 minutes or something like that? And so it was
Yes.
just me here for like 15
Yeah.
minutes.
Yeah, it was.
That was a
oh my
trip,
God, I
man.
forgot about Yeah. That was wild. Yeah, I can't remember what oh no. I was like, hey, I gotta go to the bathroom real quick, and then I went upstairs and the kids were
Being kids.
kids. And I was like,
Yeah.
I think I was like trying to send you a message. I was like, bro, I'll be back. Like, I don't know when, but it'll happen.
It was a good time. It was a good time.
That was a good time, dude. Yeah. And then on my birthday streams, I tend to actually get drunk on the internet, which is probably not a good thing, but you know, it happens.
I mean, we're not gonna judge you. We'll just
No.
silently sip our own
Cheers. It's not your birthday, but cheers.
water. No, but it is your
But it is
birthday.
But it is
yeah.
Andrew's birthday.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Look,
Yeah.
you turned 22 again.
I wasn't gonna bring it up. Oh, you're
No.
sweet. What do you want? Coffee Wednesday?
Hey, I just
Yeah.
want to say,
we're-
this is technically the day that Andrew came out. So wish Andrew a happy coming out day in the chat, please, everybody.
Coming out day. Happy coming out day, Andrew.
Uh-huh. Why do I come here?
Whatever, you've gotten yours on me before too.
Oh yeah, I
Of course,
have.
the first one.
I'll make sure that plate stays full.
Like, no, I'm too busy. I can't go back to the shit. Well, if Andrew is anything like me, he absolutely hates saying anything about it, but I made the mistake of being like, yeah, whatever. I'll go live on my birthday. So everybody knows when mine is already. So I got to deal with it every year. So you're going to deal with it.
I guess. Caro will make sure I have to deal with it because Caro will not forget.
No.
Yeah.
I'll forget.
No.
I'll hope other people forget, but Caro
Like,
won't forget,
I
and she
gave
won't let me.
I gave you a chance to like fess up that was your birthday, and I waited until like a whole 10 a.m. and then I was like, okay, everybody, I know he's pretending like it's not, but it's his birthday.
It's true. She called me out in our work chat.
That's so awesome. That's awesome. Anyway. Well, in all sincerity, happy birthday, man. So
Thank you, man. I appreciate
happy
you.
birthday, dude. So all right. So much has happened since the first time I've had the crew on. The Rippaverse isn't just putting out ISOM anymore. It's not just figuring out website issues anymore.
No,
Yeah.
but it is still that.
Yeah, well,
Dude.
yeah, I love it.
Yeah.
But it's not. I said that's why it's not just because there's so much. You guys have Rip Ascend going on. You're bringing on other creators. You're, and that brings on a whole lot of like selection issues. Obviously, it looks like, hey, you're bringing on the homies because you know them. It's easy to bring on the homies who are doing their own comic books, which I agree with. But there's also other people that want to get in on that ground floor. You guys are working with more artists now. You guys are releasing way more books now. And I genuinely, let's start here. What was, out of just a list of things that have happened since the first interview, what was the most difficult thing as you guys as a team to go, all right, we've just got to make this happen?
A schedule.
A schedule. No,
Yeah.
get into it. I don't care. No.
An internal schedule for sure.
Yeah.
All
No,
right.
because it was like for the longest time, like Eric's very like close to the chest with stuff that he wants to do. And so at sometimes like in the meetings that we would have, we'd be like piecemealing like information. It's like, what the fuck did you hear? Did you hear this? It's like, I think we're
Doing
dropping
the
this.
streams as well, right? Like
Yeah,
you will be watching every stream and just like taking notes like that.
Yeah.
this is coming
Sometimes
out
he'll be
and,
on a stream and he'll be like, yeah, I've been thinking
Oh.
about this, or like somebody will mention something in the chat and he'll get this like glint in his eye, and all of a sudden he gets a wild hair, and then we're like, ah, shit, we're gonna be doing that in a month.
Or my favorite when he streams is like, I haven't even told my team about this. And I'm like, why have you not told us about this?
The company structure has changed. I don't know if that happened, just throwing that out there.
No.
That's
No, because like it'll be something like I remember. Okay, so like let's take the Ripazine for example. We didn't know we were doing the magazine until he was on a stream. He's like, "Yeah, I've been thinking about it. We're gonna do a magazine." And I started blowing up every channel, being like, "Who the fuck knows anything about this magazine?"
I mean, I remember throwing the idea at him before, but like
Yeah.
there between that moment and when he said that on the stream, there had been like no hide nor hear, nothing, no peep, and all of a sudden he's like, "Yeah, I've been thinking about doing this," and yeah, all of a sudden
have a
Carol
short
was
story,
blowing up. Then like,
Bart
what is
Simpson's
happening? What are we
drawing
doing?
it. Yeah.
so it's like, so then all of a sudden you guys are probably getting inundated on X and all the social media is like, so glad to hear you guys are doing that. You're like, yeah, we're so glad to hear
that has happened.
That's been a thing.
Yeah, that has happened. Like somebody sent me a tweet and they were kind of like, "What do you know about this?" And I was like, "What the fuck is that?"
You're like, why did I not watch the stream? Have you guys ever said that? Why did I not watch the stream?
Yes, I have. Because sometimes when Eric streams, like I have unfortunately like other things I need to do, so I can't like watch and monitor the streams.
Oh, no.
And so every now and then, like somebody else would be kind of like, "Hey, did you know Eric talked about this in the stream?" And I'll be like, "What? What are you talking
Yeah.
about?"
But why?
The trick I've learned is that if I'm not able to like at least listen to the stream while whatever I'm working or cooking dinner or whatnot, I'll check Discord for like the cliff notes afterwards, because we have some of our fans that like they know that Eric will sometimes just like drop information during his streams, and I'm like, all right, where's so and so's latest post since the end of the stream? There it is. Okay, it's bullet pointed. Here are the things that he mentioned. Okay, I already know about that. Already know about that. I don't know what the hell that is, and so on and so forth. It's fun. It's a great time.
Yeah, bless that person for doing that for us.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. I totally forgot to mention, by the way, guys, if you have any questions for the crew here tonight, put them down below. If you guys just have just regular chat questions, I am looking at the chat. I will save those questions. I will prioritize super chats so that way, and I'll find a natural break in the conversation to ask the super chat questions in there. That's just, I've been attempting to navigate the fairness of all this. I don't know. I'm not good at this. But
Don't look at me. I'm not a YouTuber.
yeah, dude, I'm not.
Yeah, you don't stream like you stream like 3 times a week. What the fuck are you talking about?
I stream twice a week.
Yeah.
I don't stream
No,
on.
this
I-
guy.
I-
He
I don't do YouTuber stuff on my channel.
Oh, I don't know. But anyway, no, I totally forgot to tell the chat that. But anyway, and if you guys are in the chat right now, it would mean the world to me if you would share this over on all of your social media places that you hang out. That would be fantastic. But yeah, so so you guys don't even know that the Ripazine is happening until Eric mentions it online.
The first one.
Yeah, the
obviously, yeah, the first one.
Yeah.
After that, I'm assuming it's just like, okay, well, we just have to.
It's been more scheduled since then, though there have, at least with 2 of them, they've happened sooner than maybe initially anticipated.
Yeah.
Eric, before we dialed in some things, there's a kind of an internal, always simmering mentality of, we know that Eric will sometimes pop into the chat with what's ready. And then we're all like immediately, okay, what's ready right now? That means that's the next thing that's getting launched.
That's actually how my Ripazine happened. It's my
It is.
Yeah, because it was because we were supposed to launch Zaylan, but there was some lore stuff that happened, so we had to push it back. And Eric wanted to have a release, so he was like, "What's ready?" And I was like, "Well, my stuff's got line art done." He was like, "Okay, we're gonna do that." And I was like, "Oh, okay, I guess we're doing that."
Jeez.
Yeah, and
True
then
story.
there was Andrew's zine, which actually originally I had scheduled to come out this month. I wanted to release it on his birthday today, right? That was my plan. But Eric was like, "Nah, we're gonna release it now." And I was like, "Okay, cool."
Yeah, and so we released it like a month and change early. And
That-
I was like, oh, okay, that's fine.
Yeah, and that was
it's-
funny too, because it was like hope for
Wait, so,
what?
so what? Okay, so what does that do with like actual production schedule? Because there's printing and all this stuff that has to go on.
Yeah, no,
Yes,
that's
there is.
actually that's why there actually is a bit more of a schedule now, because I work really closely with the printers now. That's like my new thing that I do. Like my sales lady and I are like, BFFs right now, because we call like multiple times a week. But at one point, it turned into a thing where we sent in a file, and then they're like, "Okay, we'll have this to you in like September." And Eric was like, "Why is it going to take that long?" And it's like, because that's when we can get the block time for the printing. And so Eric, I know he's probably going to see this at some point. I'm not trying to throw you under the bus, but Eric said, "Okay, you're right. We need a schedule." And I was like,
Oh, Eric July is gonna see my channel. Oh, poor me.
Mm.
What?
He came on your. No, he did an interview with
Yeah,
you.
He
Yeah.
was sick as fuck.
Yeah, I felt kind of bad, but
He
I
was
was,
doing shots of NyQuil. I remember. I'll never forget. Carol sends me a DM, and she's like, "Hey." And even I was just like, all right, we gotta figure out where to cut this and like give him an out, because he was dying. I think he did like 2 or 3 shots of NyQuil or something. He was dying. And Carol's like, "Hey, you need to start winding down and figure out a way to." I was like, I was thinking the same thing.
he needs to leave now. Let him go.
Yeah. No, he was super cool, man. That was great. That was awesome. That was probably. Actually, that wasn't probably. That was the biggest live stream that's ever been on the channel. It was super, super cool that he did that. Especially while sick. Because I remember reaching out and saying, because we've had people, like back when we were doing Iron Age Nights and all that, we had people cancel on us for what I view to be kind of invalid reasons. But a very valid reason is being sick.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm sick. I'm dying. And I'm sorry. Every dude knows what the man flu is. Like, we're all ready to go to war unless we get the flu.
Yeah.
I'd be like, "Hey, can we postpone the war?" I'm like, I'm not feel like, we all know how the man flu is obviously a joke now. But I remember reaching out to Carol. I'm like, "Hey, I know he said multiple times, like, he's sick, he's dying." And she's like, she was like, "Nah, he said he's going to be there." And I'm just like,
I did ask. I was like, "I know you're sick." He's like, No, I'm gonna go." I'm like, "Okay."
I literally said, like, he has no obligation. He's sick. We'll figure it out. And he didn't. He showed up and did shots of NyQuil. And I was like, bro. Ooh. And that was super cool. I love that. That was such a great that was such a great interview too. So obviously there are things that come up that even you guys don't know about until you know about them, which is sometimes when we know about them. But I feel like on my end, Rip Ascend was something that was announced and like you guys maybe would have known about behind the scene.
Not the
That's
first
funny.
Oh!
That's actually hilarious.
What the fuck?
I was in the office. Carol can tell the story because she tells it better, but I was in the office in our like meeting room at HQ with her when we heard that it was happening.
Yeah,
Her
'cause the
face
web-
was
like in
she
a
made a
meeting, or
face.
like it was he was just on a live stream and just be like, yeah, we're gonna do this.
no,
I
it
don't
was more.
believe he announced it on a live
No,
stream.
he didn't announce. No,
No,
so
that's what I'm saying. Because like I remember it being announced, and it was either a video or a live stream or a post. No, it was a big deal, like the announcement thing. Because I remember seeing that. Did you guys know about? I'm assuming you guys knew about that before we did.
no, so I found out that we were doing it because the person who designed the website was asking for assets, and we were like, "What are you talking about?" And it's like, "Well, Eric told me that we need to build this," and I was like, "Build what? What are you doing?"
What? I didn't.
Yeah. It was something
So-
like what? Oh, I forget how soon before when we actually launched it, but it was pretty close to it when we heard.
It was. Yeah,
And
because
I remember
had to make-
Caro's eyes going as wide as saucers.
Yeah.
in
I
the
had to make like
conference room.
five different cartoons or something like that in the span of a week or something.
What
So
the
it was
fuck?
it was pretty close. That wasn't the tightest deadline that we got. I got one once that was like, do you have how fast can you work on this? And I was like, maybe a couple of hours. Do you need it colored? Yes. Okay. All right. Give me 2 hours. And I was like,
Wow.
that has happened.
That was well, I mean, we've had that sometimes for like portraits of either
Oh yeah,
artists
that's
or
true.
writers. We've had pretty or quick
I
turnarounds
don't
like on
even
that as
count
well.
those. Yeah, I don't
I
even
think the
count those
shortest one that
anymore.
I can think of though, because I know there've been some like thumbnail designs that you've had to turn around in like 24 hours,
Yeah.
that were like multi-character, full color, rendered out and all of that. But I still to this day, I think the quickest one that I can remember was that first campaign's Yaira t-shirt because
Yeah.
Eric was like, hey, and we're talking ISOM 1 here. So Igor and I got to be very good friends very quickly, over a very short period of time. And Eric's like, hey, I want to do a Yaira t-shirt. Everybody seems to like Yaira because the Yaira poster was outselling ISOM's poster, right? And I go to Igor. I'm like, so Eric wants to do a Yaira t-shirt. How quick can you bang out that design? And we had a design like next day.
Yeah.
That's
Which
my
to date,
favorite shirt.
Here.
That
Yeah.
shirt has sold very well.
And I will let you guys know I have folded every one of those shirts.
True.
True. It's true.
It's true. A lot of shirts.
What's so funny about what you guys are saying, blue collar, all my blue collar boys in the chat, you know that you have been through this exact same thing. Boss man goes to the the contract holder, and they're like, yeah, we get that done in a week. And I turn around like, hey boys, so we need to go do this job and we need to get it done by Friday. And you're like, dude, it's Monday at noon. That's a 3-week job. And I told them we get done by Monday at noon, or by Friday at noon. And you're like, it's so funny. I've been there.
Can
I've been there
confirm.
like, how the fuck are we gonna do that by Friday?
Yeah. That first campaign was crazy because we were very few people. Like I think the majority of us is here right now.
Yeah.
because- yeah. It was
It's true.
like Mark was something like that. And I was making like the social media posts, sending to Andrew. And by the time I sent him like a set like for the milestones of value, the campaign had blown up more. So I remember it started with like $10,000, and then by the time the website came back, it was like 100,000 or 300,000. I don't know. So it was like making designs and changing like social media posts, everything. We didn't have like that set up yet, like a system or something like that. We didn't have a proper team.
Yeah, we just had no idea what to
behind that.
expect going into that.
Yeah.
So
it was really crazy.
Igor mentioned something really like the internal system. Obviously, you guys have developed somewhat of it like an internal system, or at least more so at this point. Are you guys able to elaborate on any of that? Like for those out there kind of looking to do what you guys are doing, because there's got to be more people looking to do what you like. Have you guys, You guys got any words of wisdom there, like this, like it, to make life a little bit easier?
You don't
Be
need
light
a
on your
unique.
feet.
You need a unique image for every benchmark.
Yeah,
There's
that's
that
true.
too, for sure.
Yeah.
We've definitely gotten better at that. Igor is able to now he'll do a handful of different pieces if it's a a collection or campaign that calls for it and isn't one that we already have a dozen different pieces for, and then we can change the angle, we can zoom in or we can pull back, right? Whatever we can do to kind of make it look different and still work without putting Igor into a coma and breaking his wrist. We don't want that.
Right.
Yeah, and then we got like new people coming in. So I think Eric is pretty good at like scooping talent around. So we got like Kanan, which was like immensely helpful
Mhm.
He
to have.
he
like
dropped in the chat a little bit ago.
He
Oh
did?
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
that's the
Oh,
first
no,
time I've
he's
ever
still
seen him.
there. I
Oh,
He's still there,
guarantee.
yeah.
He's
He's
still
probably
there.
doodling. And by
He's
doodling, I
like-
mean probably
yeah.
drawing a
I-
masterpiece.
I've
Yeah.
actually been meaning to reach out to him, and I just haven't yet because I'm trying to figure out like my schedule for October. But I've actually been meaning to reach out to him to see, to get his perspective on a lot of things. But yeah,
Yeah,
oh,
but
there he is.
like Eric's pretty good at that, like seeing people that could improve or like environment as stuff that we need. So the video team has grown. Like there's a lot that goes behind the scene. There's a lot of unsung heroes like
Well-
working at the Rippaverse now.
And that right there, that was kind of the original reason I had Igor actually. So for those of you who don't know, the entire reason that I even had the Rippaverse crew on in the first place, because Igor is in the chat.
Mhm.
And I'm like,
Yeah,
dude, I know you work there. Is like, I would really love to interview all of the folks behind the scenes that are making this go, because this was very early on in the Rippaverse. And Igor's like, yeah, and I can't remember where you hit me up. I can't remember if it was Twitter or his Discord or something like
something
that.
like that. Gilded, I think.
And he's like, here's Caro's email. I half regret ever sending her that email because
She took over your Discord.
yeah, there have been goats, and
She's proud of it.
Yeah, there's been a lot since, but Igor is the entire reason that I'm even connected with the Rippaverse crew, because he was just in the chat, hanging out, chilling, having fun, and like, so legitimately, I kind of have to thank you for the relationships that I've built in this world, because and that's actually led to a lot more relationships that I've built with more people, and that's because of Igor.
Yeah, it's actually because of your content, right? Like, because if you made like boring stuff, I wouldn't be here like watching your stuff. Like, I liked what you were making, but that's why.
I don't know why people think I'm entertaining, but
I don't either, but
it is.
I'm here anyway.
I don't. It's,
Wow. Wow.
So, all right. So, Rip Ascend. That's an entirely different business than just work, promotion, artwork, all of that. That's an entirely different thing. What are you just said a minute ago, you're just like, yeah, we found out Rip Ascend was a thing, and we were like, oh shit. What is that like versus just working on the website in the initial launch of the Rippaverse? And now you're doing this entirely different business model, which is production of effectively other people's stuff.
Yeah.
It's actually not too different. It's just instead of the stories being from writers we know, they're usually like finished products that creators bring us. Like, okay, I would like to sell this, and we're like, cool. So I think that makes it a lot easier, because usually we don't have to like edit or review it. I say usually. I think there was one where we like combed through that thing because the creator was like, "Can you please go through this?" And we're like, "Sure, let's do it."
Yeah. So
Yeah, and
Carol
there
brings
are-
out her red marker.
Yeah, to anyone that applied to the Rippaverse, like we offer different service, you could say. So it depends on the viability of the project, how far into it people are, what they need. So if they need more like of an editorial partnership, we can provide that as well. So like myself personally, I'm working with one of the projects of the Rippaverse pretty closely. So I get in touch with the artist, the team, everyone. So I have meetings with them, with the artists, depending on it really depends on the project. So I've seen people commenting that Eric only takes YouTubers, but that's because they really don't know how many projects we have
Those
going
just
on
the
at
ones
the
that they've
Rippaverse.
seen so far.
Yeah, it's because the schedule doesn't allow us to share everything yet, but there are a lot of different projects going on at the same time. We just have to find the window to release some of them. Yeah.
You guys, and I could be wrong on this, but I feel like, are you guys releasing something every month now or every other month?
Oh, a couple of times a month.
Yeah, like
Yeah,
2 times
okay.
a month.
a month.
Yeah.
So I'm
Yeah.
way out of the loop because I took a break for a little bit because
No, you're good.
just needed to.
Yeah.
But
We don't advertise that, but that's basically what we're doing. We're like putting out
We're basically
big-
at a point where we're doing
big publisher
releases
numbers.
twice a month or so.
Mm-hmm.
that's okay. I feel like it's gonna get bigger. I feel like you guys are doing twice a month. It's gonna get to a point where you're every week.
No.
I hope so.
I hope not. Or if we
Unless
do,
we get
I hope
more
our
people.
I hope
I'ma
our
find a way
staff
to,
triples.
Dude, I'm gonna find a way to just email Eric and be like, Eric, you just got to drop this thing just to fuck with your people.
Well, here's the thing. So that is something that obviously that's something that a lot of the major publishers do, right? They release comic books on a weekly basis. I know because I frequent my LCS every single week on my way home from the office. That being said, you have to scale up to that. Like we scaled up to where we're at right now. So in our first 2 years, right, 2022, we only launched ISOM 1. 2023, we launched ISOM 2. And at the tail end of it, we launched Alpha Core 1, right? And then the beginning of 2024, wow, that really was only beginning of last year. That is crazy to think about. Holy crap. We launched Yaira 1, followed by
Seems
Gooding
like
the
ages ago.
Polymath. Right. And so it's because we start. Eric's wise in the way that he chooses to reinvest the profits from projects, right? A project profits, we shift that into getting other things greenlit and getting the ball rolling on that. Because in order to be able to release things on a more frequent basis, you have to be ahead of the game. So you have to already have things in the pipeline. You have to have things already being worked on, right? And that's easy enough to do with scripts, like for guys like, say, Chuck Dixon or Mike Barron, who can bang out scripts, in a week, right? They can do that, and good scripts.
Well, and they've had,
artists will take a little longer.
Years of practice behind it.
Yeah.
They know what a good script is.
But artists will take a little longer to get through those 45, 60, 90 pages, right, to have something that's ready to go. Because by the time we launch a collection or a campaign, the thing is either being lettered or in its like final editing pass phase for the most part. And so that's the only reason we're able to have that fairly quick turnaround from when pre-orders close, whatever, a month later or something like that, books are starting to ship, right?
Right.
But you have to scale up to that. And so in order for us to do that, we have to continue to be able to get further and further ahead in terms of getting projects going, but we also would need to have the manpower for it. So as we are right now, a weekly release would not be viable.
No. And I kind of said what I said to kind of bait you into that answer, because that's what people need to realize is there's a lot going on in the background. Like I remember, I can't remember if it was the first time I had you, because I've had Caro and Andrew on several times. Igor, obviously your first time here, but I know, and I actually, Caro, I can't remember if I talked with you about this in person because you came to the barbecue last year, or if we talked about this on a live, I feel like it was a live stream, but like you guys had to go from a smaller warehouse to a larger warehouse like very quickly. And
yeah, we did. I think we talked about that on a live stream when you had all of us there together. That's also when you took the first ISOM and rolled it up in front of us and we all freaked out about it.
You said it was good paper quality.
Yeah.
It's true. That is true.
Yeah, but no,
Like,
I think
Andrew about shit himself.
Yeah.
I'm so careful with my books that I was like,
oh no, I'm not. If you tell me something, if you tell me, look at this, like the paper's so good, I'm like, fucking cool. How tight can I roll it until it? Oh, hey, wow, it didn't deform. Still hasn't deformed to this day.
It's good. Yeah, we don't use the same stock, but yeah, we still have it right here.
Yeah.
No, because what happened was the demand that we saw didn't warrant the warehouse that we were in, so we moved warehouses. And like, not to brag or anything, but we might have to move warehouses again, just because all of the stuff that involves Ripasend as well, like we have to put it somewhere. So yeah,
that's it.
So we're scaling up already.
Well,
Yeah, and
like,
that's not just books, it's merch as well, like personnel that moves around.
well,
So there's a lot that
okay,
goes
I'm
into
behind.
that.
Wait. So is Ripasend also handling not just books but merch too?
We handle
Yeah.
whatever the
Everything,
creator wants. So, like
Yeah.
Igor mentioned, we have all sorts of different things that we offer through Ripasend, and that can be something as simple as they just want a digital storefront for their stuff, right? Whether that's their T-shirts and their books, or it could include fulfillment. It could include up through like going through editing. Do they need editors? Do they need a letterer? Right?
Oh, okay. So, question, and this is, and I'm not meaning to like it. So, are you saying? So, let's say that there was a creator out there, and they're just like, are you only doing it for comic creators, or is it like Ripasend would handle like a YouTuber shirt or something like that? It's not like bunker branding or anything like that, or no? You're saying like this is comic creators, we're only working with them because
No, I mean, we'll do it for anything. Like I won't tell you everybody that we're working with, but we have some long prose. So we have a couple of novels that are in the works right now. We do have some graphic novels. And you're talking about merch. One of the people that we're working with right now, they want to do a koozie. So like I'm talking to like our manufacturer being like, do you do koozies? And they're like, we do koozies. How many ounces do you want? I was like, I don't know anything about koozies, but I'm about to learn everything about fucking koozies right now. Okay.
that's wild. So wait, okay, so and this is something that I might have to toss this out too. I know that I have independent film creators in my sphere, which I'm gonna reach out to them and I'm gonna see if they have anybody's, because I want to absolutely get more film creators on there, because I think that's something in the indie sphere that's kind of being really. Indie games are being talked about a lot right now. Indie comics are being talked about right now. Indie authors, indie movies, different, and I think that's because of the timeline of what it takes to actually create a movie. But I mean, you're saying that you guys would even work with indie film creators with help with website, possible merch, and all that. That's wait. How much of a team do you guys have just on Ripasend? You have to have separate. I mean, obviously, there's got to be like one centralized.
You're seeing a lot of it.
But you guys are also on the Rippaverse.
Yes.
We have the pipeline down pretty tight right now.
I was gonna say, so that goes back to the system in place thing. Because sorry, I'm thinking of, because it's not just managing the Rippaverse, what's handling on in the primary like Rippaverse crew, like whatever that primary crew number is, plus primary crew number projects, plus all secondary primary. So that would be primary crew projects is like, here's your crew. Then we have the books. Then we have the promotion, like the animations. Then we have the merch and all that stuff. And it's like a Christmas tree. It just keeps going down. Now you also have Ripasend, which again, now you've got not just the big tree.
It's its own tree, but we're decorating both.
I don't even think it's its own tree. No, I think it's a
like
forest.
A
I think it's a forest is more like it, because you have these new creators that are coming in, and there you have a book or a graphic novel or all of this stuff, and then they have all the stuff they want to do, and it's just individual trees. You guys are and I don't know how many people you're working with. So in my brain, I'm like, okay, let's say you have 100 or 200 people that you're working with. Not saying that you are. That's a lot to manage. That, like, when you guys talk about schedule and having that pipeline down, like, what kind of chaos did you guys have to go through in order? Well, I think you guys started with just a couple. Like, you started with Drunk 3PO. I know that you guys have Yellow Flash on now. I'm not sure about some of the other smaller creators. Those are the big ones.
Android Studios as well. Death Shroud.
Yeah, we did Death Shroud just recently.
Nerdrotic's book. And then we just announced Shadow Sentry.
Mhm.
with Eric Nematowski. Yeah.
Eric
Yeah.
and Kowski, yeah.
I was supposed to have Eric on this last week, but with everything going on in the political world, Eric was like, "Hey, I want to spend some time with my family," and I totally.
Mhm.
So he and I are
We
going
all
to actually
did.
touch. Eric and I are going to touch base here in the future. I'm going to get Eric back on.
Cool. Yeah, I'm looking forward to that book as well.
Dude, we interviewed Eric, and I was like, "Oh, hey, what's going on?" I had no idea who he was the first time that I spoke to him. And
Oh.
after the interview, because we were just talking, and I was like, "Wait, what? Huh?" And I'm like, "Hold on a second." So I went and I looked up some shit about him afterwards, and I was just like, "I had no idea."
I've
I
done
had-
that. There's another podcast I go and sit on sometimes, and they have on guests, right? And I'm kind of like, and I'll just like shoot the shit with this person. I'd be like, I don't know anything about this person I just spent 2 hours with, and so like I Google, I was like, oh, that was a guy. That was
Yeah.
like totally a guy.
Yeah. I think part of the fun of my channel is me reacting to people when they tell me, because I'm genuinely interested in people. I think that's like I'm genuinely interested in people, hearing what they say, hearing their stories, hearing how they got where they got to. So I legitimately go in blind. I do not prepare any question. You guys are a little bit different because I've already met you, and so I've got to get a little creative. Every single interview you've ever seen me do the first time with anybody, I deliberately blind myself. I don't look them up. I don't find out their background. I don't any of that. Like if somebody's like, "Hey, they worked with this company," I'm like, "Okay, cool. Shut up. I don't care about the rest of it." Like and that's just like a kind of a diving board for another question if I need it.
Mm-hmm.
But it's one of those things that I sit here and I feel like kind of an a-hole sometimes for doing that, because I don't know who people are a lot of the times. Not all the times. I've definitely had people on the show before that I definitely knew who they were, but I don't know who they're like. When I reached out to you guys, I didn't know who you guys were. I was like, "Hey, you work with Eric Clay. What's going on here? How does this go down? Who are you? What do you do?" You know? And then finding out how all those puzzle pieces fall together is super fun, but also I feel like such a jackass sometimes because I'm like, I had no idea I was talking to a legend.
Oh,
A legend. If you're talking about the Duchess of the Dirty Deeds crew, that would
oh,
be
you
accurate.
shut your mouth. You know, actually, you know his zine is still live. Everybody, if you want to go and buy that, please do. If you want to see the Rippaverse speedster named
gonna-
Zephyr.
I was gonna say, you guys, I know Andrew, you've got a wrench. Caro, I think you've got a wrench on my channel.
Yeah.
Whatever links you guys want to drop down in the chat below, you are more
Yeah.
than welcome.
Yeah, that'll show you, Andrew. That'll show
That's
you.
why you have wrenches on my channel. By the
He
way,
knows how to get me back.
By the way, happy coming out of your mom day, Andrew. It's happy coming out day. It's his birthday. It's Andrew's
Yeah.
birthday. Don't
Yeah,
forget
it's his birthday. Buy his Rippazine. There we go.
Yeah, that's a great birthday present. I'll take that
There
all
you go.
day.
There you
yeah,
go.
yeah, there you go. There you go.
All day. Only $8.
Hashtag keep Andrew employed for his birthday. It'd be great.
That'd be great. I'd love to be able to show up at the warehouse on Wednesday and Carol be like, "You keep your job for another day."
You
That'd be
keep
great.
Yeah.
your job. You're
always
good
good
till
news.
Thursday.
Yeah.
You're good till Thursday. So, all right, launch of the Ripazine, scaling up of the projects. But I also know internally you guys obviously bringing on Kanan White. And you guys are working on if I remember correctly, you guys are working on structuring how like editorial stuff. I think Andrew, you said at the beginning you're working on like some editing stuff too. And people are kind of shifting roles and stuff like that. What's that like? Because you went from you guys are stepping into different roles. What's all that like?
It's wild, man. I actually started editing, just kind of copy editing with Alpha Core #1. And it was, I want to say we were like maybe 2 weeks out from print, maybe 3 weeks out from print. And I messaged Eric and I was like, "Hey, you just want another set of eyes on the thing?" Just because our goal has been to always improve with each release, right?
Mhm.
Like, and you're never gonna, people who work in editing understand this, people who don't usually don't. It's very hard to get perfect because you could have a half dozen
There's no
editors
such
on a
thing as
book,
perfect.
and there will be something that you missed, something that literally all of you missed, because you will eventually go blind. And the way that the incredible human mind works is it will fill in what should be there and should be there, even though it's not there. And so that'll happen, especially if you've looked at a script or a page 85 times, right? Or however many. So we've been really trying to improve in that regard ever since the first couple of releases. And we were like, you know what? We can tighten things up a bit better. And that's something I think we've been mostly successful with. And with Alpha Core 1, I was like, hey, I'd be happy to just be another set of eyes on the thing. And I've kind of just been doing it since and growing in that sense, which I like, because that's another kind of skill that I have in my tool belt that I can continue to hone and grow. And it's something that Caro, who has worked as an editor professionally for a while, has helped me like refine further and further. So that's been super helpful. But it is wild, because that's another, it's like, hey, you're taking on now this other responsibility. So you have to manage that with the responsibilities you already have. Right. And so it can be a bit of a balancing act, and that requires time management, that requires organization, things that Caro is extremely good at and has also helped me with. So it's been fun, and it's a lot of growing.
So I actually want to ask a question, because you mentioned something there, time management. And it's actually part of the reason that I took a break for a while. I've mentioned it on the show, but I would really love for people who seem to be much better at it than I am. When I backed off from all the streaming and stuff like that, is because I was like, I don't have the time. And I realized over the course of months that was wrong. I did have the time to do what I was doing, but what I was doing was at the wrong time of the week. Notice, not doing Friday nights anymore, not doing Sunday mornings anymore, right? And like I'm during the week, and I would, if you guys can, because I think there are a lot of people that probably do what I do, and I don't know quite how to put it into the words, but there's one thing about knowing how much time you have, and knowing where, and knowing what times to do the things that you need or want to do, and like figuring that out. Can anybody speak to that at all? Because I mean, it sounds like you guys have obviously had to get better. Okay.
You're talking about energy management. That's kind of what it is. And so when it comes to energy management, you need to know when you have the most energy for certain types of activities. So at work, I purposely make sure that I don't have any meetings before 10 a.m. because that time before 10 a.m. is actually my productivity time. That's when I'm getting stuff knocked out. That's when I'm writing articles. That's when I'm updating stuff, sending emails, all the actionables that I have to deliver that day. That's when I do that. And then work kind of knows this, but I tried to not do anything after 3. And the reason I tried to not do anything after 3 is because at that point I'm like mentally brain dead, which is a great time to ask for things, because I'm going to be like, yeah, sure, whatever. I don't care anymore. So
Good.
Yeah, it's kind of the same for me, I think. With the editorial stuff, like you have to really be paying attention, looking over things 1, 2, 3 times, and then like reading scripts and everything, like always coming back to the script, reading it again, comparing the art, seeing if the art makes sense, if the story makes sense. So when you look at like 6, 7 projects, like you have to be in a good state of mind to do that. And so it's easier to like kind of compound your time into like smaller pieces where you do this or that. And then if I have like to draw something, usually like I get the pencils done at night so I can ink on the afternoon when I'm more tired, because the inking doesn't take like as much brain power as like penciling or something like that. I'll try to like separate stuff.
Yeah, a lot of it's knowing, a lot of it's self-awareness too. So a lot of it is knowing when you are most effective at which tasks. So like Kara was saying, she blocks out a certain period of time, so hours before 10 a.m. for the stuff that she knows she needs to be just dialed in on and bang out. Knowing when you are best suited for accomplishing certain tasks is important, then you can use whatever time management application or software you like to really kind of block out your time to sort out, okay, this is the time I'm giving myself to do this task. That's when I need to get it done because this is when I know I'm going to be most effective in doing it. And you have to allow yourself a little bit of wiggle room. We have a kind of a thing going on at work where we're always pivoting, or we're always being ready to pivot, right?
Right.
Constant state of being able to pivot, like being
Yeah.
light on your feet, right? Able to turn on a dime at a moment's notice. It's important to be able to do, but you still want to have some structure. You want to have structure, but have some gutters there, have a little bit of wiggle room so that in case something comes up, and this was something that Caro helped me with this year and last year, because if I was blocking out things, everything was back to back. So if something came up that was a pivot thing, all of a sudden, shit, I don't know where this goes. And now I have to do this thing right now. And now everything else starts to fall, right? And so you have to allow yourself a little bit of space for things that might come up that don't all of a sudden crash the plates that you're juggling.
So one of the things, and I think the three of you said it's knowing what your time is.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously you have to learn that. There's that learning curve there. For me, it was, it wasn't that I didn't have the time to do what I was doing, is I was doing it the wrong times, right? I was doing it at like family time and all that was just getting eviscerated because I'm sorry, like best time for somebody who works 45, 50 hours a week, best time to spend with my family is Friday nights through the weekend.
Mm-hmm.
And I was not being effective there. For those people, what is a strategy that you would use to learn? What's a learning strategy for better time management? How, for somebody who's like, man, I just like, I've calculated the hours of the week that I have, I'm doing this thing, but obviously I still seem to be running out of time. What's that strategy that you would use to figure out where to put things in the week?
A time audit. You need to do a time audit. I made Andrew do a time audit because we had this discussion. I was like, just for 3 days, do a time audit. And so what you do is for every half hour, you write down like what you're doing. And part of what the time audit does is it actually shows you where you're procrastinating. So for example, every time I get done with a task, I want to reward myself with YouTube, right? But the problem with YouTube is that it's not like a 5-minute thing. Like I watch one video and another, next thing I know, like 30 minutes have gone by and I haven't gotten jack shit done.
30
so
those are Ricky numbers.
But no, so it's like you do a time audit, like you kind of see like when are you getting the most done, when do you feel excited. The other thing I think to take into account, I don't think we've really talked about this in general, but it's like, what are the things that you're kind of excited to do? And then how much mental energy is it going to take as well? So part of the reason why I do all the big stuff in the morning is because I know it needs the most brain power. And I know like once like 2 o'clock comes by, like I can't do it. I just can't. So that's why I slot all that. So like my book writing that I do, because of all like, how much of the noggin that needs, I knock it out in the morning. Cause like if I tried to do it right now, I'll only have like 2 sentences and it'll be like, he walked into a room, he talked 2 things, and that's it. That's all I'm going to do.
That's a great comment. I'm procrastinating as we speak.
I'm so proud of you. Good job.
That's Hero Darky.
Self-awareness is great. We like self-awareness.
That's Hero Darky Dark. That's my boy. That unironically, I'm going to shout him out right now. Don't take offense to this. My absolute favorite indie comic that is out right now.
Relentlessly Bullied Hero. Yeah,
dude.
I was super excited to see his campaign broke previous records for his stuff. This most recent one. I was really happy to see that.
I love his book. I unabashedly like it. It's so good. The first book had so much going for it. The second book, I even told him privately. I was like, hey, there were some things. It wasn't as good as the first one, but he's also doing world building in the second one, and the first one had just like main character focus. I'm like, okay, cool. Obviously, he's got to have time to, but like, it doesn't matter. I Relentlessly Bullied Hero is so good. So I'm going to shout him out. And now we can go back to you guys. But yeah, I just wanted to shout him out real quick because
Very good.
I love what he's doing. I love what he is doing. So time management, doing a time audit, like writing down what you do throughout your day, how you're getting stuff done, figuring out when you have the most energy of the day, like, which is so funny that you say that, because I am probably doing this show at the time of day when I have the least amount of energy. I have always been, for my entire life, I am a late night person and an early morning person. Tell me how that makes sense. I love watching the sun go down, and I love watching the sun come up. Everything between like 11, I used to tell people, everything between like 11 a.m. and 5 p.m. can go fuck itself. I've always been like that. I have always, couldn't keep my eyes open in high school about it. I mean, I kept my grades up. I don't know. My teacher was like, he falls asleep in class sometimes. My parents are like, well, we're glad your grades are up, but like, why are you falling asleep in class? I'm like, I don't like the afternoons. I hate being up during that time. Nothing good happens between 11 a.m. and like 5. My wife is just sitting here nodding at me. By the way, you can say hi to Caro now. She was trying to say hi, but we were going live.
Hello, my love. Oh, she can't hear me. Hello,
This
my
isn't-
love.
Hello.
How are you? Are you
How
still
are you?
playing Power World?
Good. I can't. Would you stop? That's not my ear hole.
I don't know.
How do you fucking?
It's an
What
earbud.
kind of faggot shit is this?
Don't see that on YouTube.
I'm so sorry.
Jeez. And the stream just got taken down.
And
That's
stream is
gonna-
down. Good night, everybody.
Yeah.
Shortest stream
You're not
ever.
supposed to say the words that we say normally on YouTube.
I mean, yay, socialism. YouTube is so wonderful.
I help it.
Hi.
Oh God.
Hello.
Oh.
How are
It's great to
you?
see you.
I'm
How are the
good.
goats? How are the goats doing?
Goats are good. Goats are good. They are living with a bunch of other goats now at a different farm and living their best goaty life.
Oh.
Well, except for Matilda. Apparently, she's become top queen and she's kind of a bitch.
Oh.
Apparently, she doesn't like babies. I'm like, well, that sucks for you because you're gonna get pregnant.
Maybe she'll like them afterwards.
She'll probably be like me, and she's like, I like mine.
Or
I
she'll
like
like them
yours,
worse.
but mine are great. I also now have like 35 tarantulas and a black widow, and they're adorable.
Oh.
The whole
my
house
God.
is just
Got scorpions, snakes, tarantulas. Stuff.
Y'all are something else.
You should do tours. It's like, going to the zoo, but you don't have
Yeah.
to actually go to the zoo. You can just go to your farm. It's great.
Yeah, it's
make all the
wild.
neighborhood kids. put $2
Complimentary White Claw with every ticket purchase.
That's
No,
yeah,
fuck
that's like
off with the white clutch.
that's like a great side hustle. You guys should think about this.
You know, you tell them to fuck off with a White Claw, but you literally sat here and drank like 5 or 6 on a stream one night repeatedly. So I don't think you actually get to say that anymore.
No, I hate that shit.
I think he
They
lost.
left. They left us. No, they left a 6-pack down here when we did the barbecue.
Oh yeah, I
all the
remember that.
all the guys snuck downstairs, and I didn't see it for like 2 or 3 days because I was upstairs. I was barbecuing. I was cooking food for everybody. We were hanging out. I think we all hung out until like 2 a.m. the first day everybody got here, and then also hung out until like 1 a.m. the next day after that. And then it wasn't until a day or two later when I went downstairs to my office and I was like, what the fuck did they stop it? Stop it. No.
Y'all are
Touch my
adorable.
titties on stream. Ah!
Okay. Bye. I love you guys.
Love you.
Please don't let him
Bye.
knock down my lights again.
I got it. Come on, Bishop. Come on, Bishop. Come
Sorry. We
Bye,
have a
Bishop.
130-pound black lab that's over here.
He's
When we-
beautiful.
Yeah, when we went to go live, he eviscerated my lights and started taking stuff down, and it was all falling. We were already live. The intro, the bumper music was playing, and like shit was falling. I was like, like,
Oh,
thank God
I
we
wish
were
Albany
muted.
had filmed that.
Oh, dude, I
The
was
story
like,
behind the story we never
oh,
see.
dude, it's
That
so,
would have been amazing.
oh my God. So
That's the content people want to see.
I don't know what content people want to see, but people like me interviewing people, so that's what I'm gonna do. Because I find it to be fun, and again, I love learning about people, and I love learning about just everything that you guys have kind of figured out. Because again, I've seen the content ramp up, and I have talked with enough individual creators, indie creators, guys like Hero Darky Dark. I actually just talked with Vaughn Coleman a few weeks back. I've talked with
Yeah, my boy Vaughn.
Yeah, I've talked with Dave Brink from Perfect 10. I've talked with a bunch of people about producing their own stuff. Actually, I keep forgetting to do this, and I need to do this Thursday, as long as everything pans out. We got Michael Bancroft on.
Oh, nice.
Very nice.
So-
very nice.
Yeah.
Lucid.
You get to ask him why he's not on Twitter anymore, because I saw
Yeah,
that
why he got
Probably for
suspended
the
from
same
Twitter.
reason I'm not on Twitter anymore. I got
No,
tired
but he
of
got
that shit.
No, he got suspended.
for
Oh,
some
really?
reason.
Yeah, he flat
I
out got
don't know.
suspended
Fuck
this
do
week.
you get on? How do you get suspended on Twitter now?
I don't know. But
Anyway.
he was promoting his show. It was pretty fun. Like he was doing like contest comics, like 1 in, 1 out kind of thing. Like it was really cool to see.
That's
I
wild.
watched some of it.
It was like a
Yeah.
bracketed competition
Yeah,
of
yeah,
different
exactly.
indie creators
That's
pitching their projects, and so it was like who has the better pitch.
In a set amount of
right?
time. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
But
cool.
pretty
On-
cool.
The,
yeah,
the
dude,
purpose
honestly,
of
if you got
which
the
is for those
audience-
creators to refine their pitches, right?
Yeah.
Actually, it's so funny. I was thinking about that. I was talking with Daniel Riley about this a while back, and Daniel does a lot of editing and stuff like that. That's actually one of his main business. He's an editor, and we were talking about, because we've seen a lot of pitches for books and stuff like that, and you guys used to see it on Comic Shop Wednesdays when I was doing Comic Shop Wednesdays. Is there'd be a pitch, and I'm just like, art looks kind of cool, but what the fuck is this? And there were some instances where people just knocked it out of the park. I will never forget I think still to this day, the one that sticks out in my head was the first promo trailer for the Mythicals. It was so absolutely fun. If you guys remember the first promo, actually, somewhere. No.
She found it.
Yeah, the Mythicals right here. I should open this. It was bought for me a while ago, and then we got super busy and life came up. But this was actually sent to me by a subscriber of mine. So, and it just showed up in the mail one day. I was like, "What did you do?" But the first promo trailer for the Mythicals, I thought, was just lightning in a bottle. It was just one of those things that I was just like, "This is so natural. This is so funny. I love it." I thought it was just so great. Maybe it just fit my brand of humor. Then I have also seen the typical advertising, you know, are you tired of comics? Are they boring to you? Blah, blah, blah. And then you see people who are just like, we're trying to make a commentary. I'm like, oh, I don't care. And when you see enough projects out there, you kind of get to go, stop doing that. Don't like that. Because I come at it from a customer standpoint. I don't come at it from a creative standpoint at all. I've had people look at me and be like, wait, what do you mean you don't like that? I'm like, I wouldn't spend my money on it. Or I would spend less money than what they're asking for. So I think that bracket system is hugely important, especially if you get the community involved in something like that. If you could do it like once a month, God, that would take, I don't even know. If you could find all of the people who are releasing in that month, or like the people in a certain group or whatever, and you post the links on a website, and then you have people go and vote on each of those in the brackets and see who kind of moves up the chain, that could be really interesting, because that could give a lot of feedback to people. We had a creator do that. Oh God, I'm forgetting the name. Oh,
Well, while you're trying to remember it, to your point, you don't, when you were talking about like, oh, somebody's just, wanting to make commentary on such and such, and maybe it's just the opposite end of the political spectrum from whatever some of the mainstream might be doing, or whatever it is, right?
Oh no,
it's
I
important.
have a specific one that I'm thinking of when I say that, and it's actually not political.
Oh, okay. It's important to not lock yourself into the justification for your product existing being predicated on somebody else doing X.
So one of the one that sticks out the most in my head, it was a kind of like a gore, like post-apocalyptic zombie type book, right?
Okay.
And it was like, this looks kind of cool. They posted it. We start watching the trailer. And when you think of, Caro, post-apocalyptic zombie book, there's a family. What do you think of immediately? What do you think, what do you think of?
Like my expectations, or
yeah, just quick expectations. There's a family in the post-apocalyptic zombie world. Like what?
I expect the family to team up to do whatever they can to get through whatever the new mutant zombie is probably going to rise up, and they'll probably have to encounter the monsters of humanity, and there'll be a theme of like who's the real monster, the zombies or the humans living in this dystopia world, and the family, through the power of family, will make it through to the end, and the father will probably die at some point.
Yeah, you're wrong. Igor, what do you think?
Well, Caro kind of nailed it, but I think it's either that or completely nihilistic approach where like nothing matters, people die for no like apparent reason.
Yeah, you're wrong.
One of those like kind of the boys feeling or something.
You're
like
still wrong, Andrew.
Yeah.
See, I agree with both Igor and Caro, but I'm also gonna put my, as a Resident Evil fan, spin on it. All of those things are true, but on top of all of that, they're trying to figure out how to actually stop this from continuing based on whatever evil, whether it's the government, whether it's a mega corporation, whatever it is, somebody who shouldn't have been messing around with something messed around with that thing.
Yeah, you're fucking wrong.
Yeah, okay.
What the hell is this zombie book?
What is this book?
The family dealing with the interpersonal drama and the depression that each of them are feeling. And at most of the commercial was talking about how the family is dealing with depression and their interpersonal feelings about it and trying to go through this world as a family, simply just trying to understand each other in the
what is this, the later seasons of Walking Dead?
Fuck
Walking
me, dude.
Dead.
I was like,
what? Days of Our Dead Lives?
Dude, no, that's exactly what the fuck it was.
Not interested.
What, dude, I was like...
I'll replay Resident Evil 6 times before I deal with that.
Dude, and they were like, well, and this kid is dealing with like depression and all this. I'm like, everybody's fucking dealing with depression. It's the zombie apocalypse.
Is this a book written by, or a thing written by like a bunch of blue-haired women?
No, women? Like this was a team of like I would have to go back on Comic Shop Wednesdays and stuff to find it. I kind of muted a lot of that stuff because I was trying to figure out stuff with YouTube. I'll put it all back up eventually. Right, but I would have to go back and I would have to find that one. Again, all of the things that you guys said. Yeah.
I've watched a lot of zombie books and watched a lot of, and read a lot of zombie books.
Never seen a zombie thing that was more worried about dealing with the son's depression and how he genuinely feels about himself and how he might fit in with his family versus the fucking zombies that are coming. Dude,
people are there for zombies.
You know,
that was the one that I will remember as being the worst marketing pitch that I have. I'm like, not even just like, your premise is wrong. And I remember saying that I wasn't, because I try to be somewhat restrained and try to be kind to people and kind of let them down. It was like, hey, you missed the mark here. This just didn't hit. that was one of those ones where I was just like, your premise just isn't even correct for the type of shit that you're trying to do.
Well, and that I want to. So, on that point right there, the shit that you're trying to do, that's a genre thing, right? You're talking about something specific. Whenever you're talking about something specific like that, people have expectations. You have to understand the thing that you're trying to create, so you understand. Then you can do the research to understand your audience. That's going to be the most likely demographic and pool to buy the thing you're trying to create. And after you've done all that work, then you understand what the expectations are for that genre. And if you've done the work properly, you know which of those expectations you can bend a little or even break a little to have your audience go, oh, wow, wasn't expecting that, right? Because maybe they were expecting something different, but in a good way. That's a proper subversion of expectations because you caught your audience by surprise and gave them something fresh while still operating within the thing that you pitched to them, right? I'm giving you a zombie apocalypse. People are going to have some level of expectation with that, right? Reasonably so. It's a fairly highly populated genre at this point, right? Like there's, you could throw a stone in fiction and you're probably going to hit 2 or 3 of them without much effort, even if you throw like a girl.
Metaphor for everything, like zombies.
I have a question. Is it called Handling the Undead?
No, hit me up in Discord. I don't know. It wasn't.
I'm only asking because it's got 4,000 reviews and it's sitting at a 2.5. So if it's as shitty as you think it is, that seems like a mark.
No, it was not. It fuck, dude. I don't.
Was it on Kickstarter?
It was on Kickstarter.
You know what?
No.
It was on. I think it was on. It was on Kickstarter. I'm sorry. Go on, Igor.
No, it's okay. It's like I'm gonna hold back my urge to vomit right now when we see like the term that I hate, elevated horror, where people throw this around now because they need to set themselves apart. Like I don't watch horror movies. I watch elevated horror, where everything is a metaphor for something else.
What the fuck does that mean?
Yeah, that's just pretentious.
That's a great question.
Yeah, that's pretentious people that don't want to.
I'm not like other horror writers. I do elevated horror. What does that mean? Yeah. It's too deep. I can't explain.
I know you just think your shit doesn't stink. That's what it is.
Yeah, that's exactly it. So I don't want to seem like those people that watch horror movies. I watch these type of movies. So that term alone already like brings me like a deep like hate. But the thing that pisses me the most off, it's like now everything in a horror movie is a metaphor for something else, for trauma especially, because that's what most people deal with in horror movies. So that's the real horror.
Absolutely hate the amount of people who think they have trauma in today's day and age, and they actually fucking don't. I'm sorry, your coffee order being wrong at fucking Starbucks is not traumatic.
They burnt my coffee, man.
I don't give a fuck.
On your birthday.
I know, on your coming out day.
Oh.
It's so funny because it's so true. Oh God, that is the greatest play on words I have ever.
Look at that.
No, look at that. Hey everybody, it's Andrew's coming out day. He did come out of his mother on this day.
It is true.
However many years ago.
22. Look, he's a young 22. He's a young 22-year-old man.
22. Yeah. I still get carded, so.
I still get carded, which is weird. I go to new places and I'm like, "Can I see your card?" And I'm like,
I asked to get carded.
It irritates me. I'm like, "Fuck off!" Like, just give me one. Anyway, but no, it's I am so. I'm tired of people trying to use their lack of experience to write stories. And it is so evident in today's day and age when people, and they're like, well, I'm going to put this in there because I experienced this. And I was like, bro, nobody else experienced that though. Nobody else. Like your view of the world is just not like life ain't that fucking hard. I mean, life's pretty hard for a lot of people, but you didn't live that life. You know? Why are you trying to write about shit you don't know? And I think a lot of people think that they're more creative than they actually are. And a lot of people, what they don't realize is that most of the greatest writers that we've ever known drew from personal experiences that they actually had. You know? It's like, write what you know. And a lot of people don't do that, which is weird.
Well, like, okay, so that's a double-edged sword because on one hand, like when you write from like, okay, so let's take, I was just bitching about this guy yesterday to one of my military friends, Jack Carr, right? Jack Carr is the person who wrote the Terminal List, right? And when I initially watched the show and I read the book, I was like, man, this is fucking amazing. I fucking love it. And then I read up on Jack Carr. I was like, it's a fucking self-insert. And I was like, but up until that point when I learned it, I didn't really care. Right. But it's like when you learn that it's just nothing but like glorified self-fiction, it kind of like it changes the lens on when you see it. So that now when I go and I read that, like the protagonist is kind of like always, I don't want to say he's always right, but he's definitely elevated. Right.
Okay. I have a theory on self-insert that I think a lot more people could use. And I think it actually, and I actually know some people who've done it and done it very well. And I think none of them come to mind right now. I just interviews I've kind of forgotten about. But if you're going to do a self-insert, take pieces of your personalities and make different characters based off those pieces of your personalities. They get a little tropey at times, but you get to be like, oh, here's my analytical mind. I'm going to make a character based off of my analytical mind. Here's my quirky mind, you know. Here's my intrusive thoughts that I should never, ever say ever in real. And I'm going to make a character based off of that. Based off of different portions of my personality. I think stuff like that actually works very well because it doesn't come across as a self-insert. But it very much is in a lot of cases. Am I right? Am I wrong?
I mean, that's the pro side of writing what you know. And I'm saying that as somebody who writes and edits a lot. If you work from a place of truth in that way, then you can make some fun characters. The problem is kind of when you get super over invested or there's too much correlation between you and what it is that you've created. Like I'll be honest, like when I got like this haircut, I was actually kind of like worried about getting the haircut because there's a character that has like a side part in it, and I was like, I don't want people to think that I put myself in a book because that's not what I did. But at the same time,
Kara put herself in a book.
I did not put myself in a
Kara
book.
2025 said put herself in a book.
But it's like this is good. This is why it's like such a double-edged sword because you should write what you know because it puts authenticity.
If you write what you don't know, you look like an ass.
Yeah, it's true. Like, okay, here's a great example. When I was at writing group,
She's going to out me right now.
You didn't go to my writing group.
Oh, okay.
But
Thank God.
When I went to writing group, when I lived in Arizona, there was a fella there and very well-meaning, but he was very ignorant about a bunch of stuff. And he brought in this story. I should probably also add that he was autistic. And he brought in this story, and it was so filled with like racial tropes, sexual tropes, like all this stuff. Like I don't think there's anybody at the table that wasn't offended at all. And at one point, we were like, "At what point did you think that this was okay to write?" And he was like, "Well, I thought it was funny." And I was like, "No, this is how you get stoned to death, like quite literally."
Wow. Yeah. To offend you, jeez.
Yeah, no, I was usually I was just kind of like, oh, you know, if it's just like a little trope, but it's like the lesbian trope was played all the way to the extreme, like the bad porno kind.
Wow.
He was doing stuff with like black people, like, you know, the whole watermelon and purple drink and some other stuff. And I was like, please stop doing that. And like the list goes on, like it really went on. And when we got to the Hispanics, I had to push the paper away. I was like, I can't do this. I just can't. But again, he had no idea. And so then we spent the rest of writing group, which was an hour and a half, explaining to him about how what he wrote was actually offensive.
Quite a time.
Yeah.
Alacrity, good night. Thank you so much for being here.
Right.
On that note, I've saved I've saved some chats.
All right.
Tonight because I thought that some of them were fun.
Let's have them.
Yeah. And one, thank you guys so much for being here. It's been, it's
I
super
love being
fun.
here, man.
It's
I
super
love
fun
being
to-
here even more than I love giving you grief. But it's close. It's like this and this.
Stop fucking lying to me. Like, God, I mean,
Okay, so it's
I'm like
actually like this and
Rihanna.
this.
I love the way you lie, but I also know that you're doing it. So, like, I don't know. But I'm not black, so I guess I'm not exactly like Rihanna. Anyway.
Or a woman?
He left that part out, right?
I-
Like it wasn't
did-
just
He left it. I feel like
intentionally.
that's a
Yeah.
significant.
I
I
know-
thought my
I know how-
headphone had
Tim Allen!
like malfunction.
Is Eric look? Tim Allen says, "Is Eric looking into an animated ISOM series or any other members of the Rippaverse?"
So, those who are Rippaverse fans will know that we are currently we have pitched a Horseman animated series, and if we hit X number of Kara's boyfriend, if we hit X number of monthly members, even at the base $5 membership for our website, once we hit that threshold, and I forget what the number is, we will do a full animated episode, like full length animated episode, not like a
That's
few minute,
dope.
not a few minute short. We're
So-
talking like your full length cartoon animated
So-
episode, and animation is expensive.
No,
mind
it is. So that's what I asked. So when you, the nerd in me. So, the by full length, do you mean 24 minutes? Because 24 minutes is actually generally because you actually usually what you have in animated episodes is it's 24
It's 24
minutes.
minutes plus like 6 of commercials.
Yeah, plus like 6 is growing. Or you guys, when you guys say full length, you're like, no, we're gonna do a full 30-minute. Like, would you guys mean 24? Or do you guys mean 30? Like you like
That exact specification, I'll be
Depends.
completely honest. I don't actually know. I
You-
just
you-
know full length episode.
Okay,
However,
full length.
there's another threshold that if we hit that, we will green light and put into production a full season of The Horseman.
Why
Yeah,
not just like
because-
why not just like a like I mean, is there a middle point where you should be like, well, why don't we just do a long episode, like 45 minutes to an hour, or like whatever the double, like 48 minutes, I guess.
I'm the messenger.
Yeah, but one of the things
Pitch
behind
that to Eric. Pitch that to Eric because that could be because a full season's gonna be a lot. But I feel like there's something in between 24 minutes and fucking 5 hours. Like there's a sorry.
I'm careful about what I pitch to Eric because I know it means work for me later.
She just said it.
I'm
We
gonna
were
try
all
to.
thinking
I'm gonna
it.
try to just message Eric. I'll be like, "Hey, Eric, your people came on," and I'm like, "Have you thought about this?" Caro said that she was all.
one of the main problems with animation, as like most people can imagine, is like how to monetize it, because
And that is
like
the thing.
there is a lot of cost going into it, and
Especially
not
as
a
an
lot of ways
independent.
to monetize it as an independent, because
Eric's
like
not
even
interested
even
in
anime,
Crunchyroll.
yeah, even anime is usually
Mhm.
used to like put numbers into the mangas and magazines and
Yeah.
stuff like that, which is why you see kind of switch into releasing the movies in theater, because for the longest time people wouldn't go to the movie theater to watch an anime movie, but now they do more often than not outside of Japan. So you see like Kimetsu no Kaiba and many other movies being
One
released on
Piece,
cinemas.
yeah.
Yeah, One Piece.
Yeah, and it's like something else to keep in mind is a lot of people like the studio that did the solo leveling animation, like it's been hailed as the best animation ever, great fight sequences and everything. That studio is
Mhm.
bankrupt right now.
I wouldn't say it's the greatest ever, but I love Solo Leveling. But I'm so basic when it comes to anime. I'm like, but does he hit the next guy harder than he hit the guy before that? If the answer that is my basis for anime.
Fair enough. Fair
people-
enough.
People be like, you got to get into this anime. It's so deep. It's so, and I like watch. I'm like, I can't. I'm like, what's
You
wrong
want to
with
watch some gorgeous animation? Watch all the different Fate series. The fight
yeah, they
sequences
do.
I
in
so
those.
wanted
Yeah,
the
that
fight
movie.
series.
Yeah.
All right, the fight sequences are out of control, and a lot of it's like pseudo high fantasy mixed with modern, so it's right up my alley. And I'm like, they got swords, they got
Good use
spears,
of
they got
3D as well.
chains.
They got boobs, they got butt.
Well, they definitely have that.
yeah, they got it all.
We like that.
I will say this. I'm such a simple creature. I don't even need great animation. Like one of my favorite anime in the last few years has been Shangri-La Frontier.
Haven't watched that one.
I have seen
familiar
that.
with
That's good shit.
I fucking love it. It's video game anime, and that's what it is.
Mm.
But it's like,
I just love the fact he's always got like the bird helm on.
Oh, it's so good.
Yeah.
It's so good. I love it. And then it just what's so interesting to that's a side tangent. Alacrity, who just left, actually says to the crew, if you could be a hero in the Rippaverse, what would your moniker be?
Oh, that's a good question.
So who do we start with? Do we do ladies first, or do
You
we
should.
do we do coming out day boys first, or do we?
That's rude.
It's his birthday. He goes first.
Wow.
It's his
Yeah.
birthday. He'll cry if he wants to, or it's his party. He'll cry if he wants to. That's what it is. I remember that. song.
Nobody threw me a party.
That's what we're doing. We're having
Because
a party for you on a stream.
because
I'm
This
alone.
is your
That's why
birthday
I'm here.
power. Yeah, it's your birthday party right now.
I'm sad and alone. I don't have a party.
And you'll be like, lonely. I'm so lonely. I have nobody of my own. And then he does that. So, woo! I don't know what the fuck they did back. Anyway, who wants to go first?
You know,
What would your
ironically
moniker
enough,
be?
that's not something I've thought of. Because none of the names that I would give to characters I'm trying to create, that it's like I'm creating this because I think it's a clever name and I think it is thematic with the character that I'm making. I wouldn't do that for myself. I'd make it something silly and on the nose. Because it's
Okay.
just kind of how I am. You know, that's kind of one of my favorite things in comics, which is like the super on the nose or like super alliterative, naming schemes. Kara and I have had a lot of conversations about naming schemes, and it's funny because we're the complete opposite when it comes to naming things. And I love both ways, especially the ways that she describes them. But I'm always the person where it's like, wow, like, okay, I know that I want this character to have like this kind of a heritage. And so I'm going to dive deep into that, maybe an older version of that heritage's language. I'm going to draw out names that coincide with maybe their powers or something regarding their personality or maybe even the character arc that I want to do. And so I try to combine all of those things like, oh, I'm super clever. Not really, but, I'm just using words that somebody else made up. And I had a lot of fun with that. But for myself, I'd probably just come up with something silly. Like my normal online handle, not the ND Andrew thing, but like my personal brand, Caffeinated Wolf. Like that's literally everybody that knows me knows that I like two things. Well, three if I counted wine, but I feel like it'd be odd to make.
Oh,
I was
give
about
you
to say, I
so
feel
much
like it would
shit.
be.
You drank
feel
wine
like
on
it'd
my
be-
stream. I give you so much shit.
I know you do. I was about to say, I feel like it's kind of gay to make my online handle have anything to do with alcohol, but I'm on a drink with crazy, so
fuck
I
you.
feel like that.
That's also fair, though. That's also fair. I've had a few shots across the bow, so
But everybody knows I like coffee. Everybody knows I like dogs, right? So like Caffeinated Wolf, there, easy, done, right? Something super simple and silly. I don't know actually what my hero moniker would be in the Rippaverse, but it'd be something silly.
I am going to be right back. I have to go to the bathroom real bad. I'll be right back.
Wow, he
Look
abandoned
at his
us.
chat.
Keep
We're
going.
in
Answer the
charge.
questions. Keep going. Answer the question.
Oh, we still have to answer. He can hear us.
God damn.
I don't want to hear you go to the bathroom though, Royce. That's weird.
Yeah,
We're not
please
that
mute.
close. Yeah.
Yeah, we're not like we're like this, not like whatever that looks like.
Yeah, that's weird.
Yeah.
Igor, I choose you.
Well, I'm gonna play into the hair jokes that I get every day or whenever we stream with Andrew, Marcos, and everyone. I think it would be like the hairbrush or something like that.
The
instead of
hairbrush?
The airbrush.
Is it
Like, just
weird
kind of
that
funny.
I'm just hearing the VeggieTales song "Where Is My Hairbrush" in my head now?
Yeah, but because you use the airbrush in comics all the time, so
Yeah.
hairbrush, I think that's a good name. for
Supergirl had a
superhero.
magical hairbrush. That's what turned her hair
Oh,
from
God.
its normal bright blonde to
That's true.
that's some Silver Age shit right there. Is
That's
what that
some
is.
silly comics. Yeah, that's very true. I forgot about that. Yeah, so I think that's a good superhero name. I kind of lean into the silly things. I think comics have always like I love horror, but I think like having some sort of comedy into it and not taking itself so seriously is always good. So yeah, goes that simple. What about you, Carol?
I would be a villain, and I would be called the Deadline, because if you don't meet the deadline, you'll
Oh
be dead.
God, I can
That's a
already
good-
see it.
That's like
No, you
end
could,
of the
you could do
universe
that,
kind of
or
villain.
alternatively, you could be known as Redline.
Redline.
Oh, for all the editing. I like
Yes.
Deadline though. It's got like finale, like the deadline. You meet my deadline,
Like
you're
final
dead.
boss.
Both are
and
good, but yeah, I can definitely see that. That does seem like a final
Redline
boss
would be
type character.
Redline. Yeah, Redline would be my sidekick. That's what would happen.
stuff. Deadline.
Okay.
That's a good name.
I'm training to be Kara's
See-
Redline then.
See, I did better. I did better with this naming, because usually what happens is like, because like what Andrew was saying, he puts all this thought into it, and I'll be sitting here at my table being like, God, I need to think of a fucking name for this thing. What do I have around me? We're in the land of Tabla. Okay, we're going with that. Let's go. And it stays that way until someone says, have you thought about calling it this? I was like, I haven't. Let's do that instead.
Yep. That is can confirm, historically accurate, has happened.
As
I
literally,
have been in the room.
yeah, literally watched me like when we're in the conference room and we're trying to write something. I was like, what the fuck is this? This is a can of something, something. Okay, that's what we're doing. Go.
Carol also hasn't seen the light quite yet with allowing me to name more things.
No.
I don't know. I really don't know how to do that. Like any part of the writing, it's all abstract to me. Like I can draw, that's all I can do. Like writing is completely like
People
abstract.
who read my short story introduction in Rippaverse 5 can let everybody know whether or not I should keep writing more long form stuff or whether I should stick to pigeon strips. But I will say I am quite proud of my naming ability. That is the one thing I will.
Every time Andrew tells me the name of something, it's almost like that meme with like the husky when the husky tells the joke and it's like it says the joke and then exposes itself.
I tried to catch fog. It missed. I knew exactly which meme you were talking about.
Yeah.
Sorry it took so long. I was in the bathroom and then the dogs started losing their shit and I was like, oh, are they killing the little dog again?
Oh,
don't do
again. Oh, so they killed it and it got better?
Had I not stepped in, it would have. Yeah.
Oh goodness.
Well, it's the little one. He can't fight for himself. It's fine. It's fine. Sorry. Anyway, Mayor of Orc City. I'm not gonna say this name on YouTube because Mayor may not get banned for that. Anyway, hail the Rippaverse. Just finished Rippaverse 3. Big fan of Spiny.
Yay!
Benji.
Thank you.
By the way.
Thank you for reading it. I don't care.
But I know that orcs can't read, so
I give him so much shit for
I
that.
love him. He's a great dude, but I will forever give him grief about the orc thing.
Oh, always. The orc thing. Oh, dude, I've said so many times, I'm like, man, it's so weird that people have orc fetishes. I'm not, and he's like, dude, fuck you.
And
like,
hey,
I mean,
you've grown. You've grown.
I didn't know it was that kind of stream.
Yep, there it is.
I have that on Kindle.
I give him shit. I bought his book. I still give him shit. Oh God. Hero Darky Dark says that again. I just saved some chats because I thought they were fun. I now imagine Rippaverse is a place where everyone else is slowly being tipped to insanity as Eric would at random announce large projects without telling anyone, sending you all into a panic.
NDA.
I think that
It sounds like every Tuesday.
For you, it sounded like the craziest day of your life. For me, it was a Tuesday.
It was a Tuesday.
Well, there was one time we had a meeting and everybody was kind of like, do you think Eric's going to release anything? I haven't heard anything. I was like, my Caro senses are telling me he's going to release something. I just feel it, right? And I managed to catch him in his office and I walked in there with my swagger and I was like, what are you releasing this week? And he's like, I've been thinking about that. I was like, I know. I need you to tell me what you're thinking.
He's like, yeah, I know you've been thinking about it. I would really love to know.
And then, we've also had the exact opposite happen where we're all like, I think we're good this week, right? I think like we can do some catch up on other things. We can focus on other projects, get ahead on other stuff, right? I think there's very little likelihood we're announcing anything this week.
How wrong were you?
Eric, hey, we're announcing something in 48 hours.
So you were in fact 48 hours wrong.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's
I think we've gotten used to it though.
Yeah.
I think so.
It really is at the point, especially a lot of it's mentality. So if you have the
I was gonna
pivot
make a really bad
mentality,
joke there.
if you have the pivot mentality, or at least keep yourself in a place where you're able to do that, then when it happens, you're like, all right, well, this is just what we're doing. And you shift gears and you have a system in place to where you can do that. And people's hair isn't on fire. Maybe you're like, oh, this is maybe a little bit tighter of a deadline than I was expecting. Okay, that's fine. You know, this is cool. We can do it. And things go off without a hitch.
That's awesome.
Mostly.
Slender last Marcos. Can't exceed quantity without losing quality. So let's not get ahead of ourselves. LOL. That was when we were talking about you guys
Releasing one a week, yeah.
Yeah.
And Eric Marcos, that's our concept artist at the Rippaverse. He speaks from experience because, you know, then he has to go through a script where there's sometimes, you know, a dozen new designs that he has to bang out. Or if it's a Saska script, 35.
Mm-hmm.
I love those ladies.
I do as well.
It's very hard to out energy me. And when you out energy me, I'm just like,
yeah, you're losing that fight.
Oh,
you are losing that fight
every time. Like, Kiro saying, "You shut up," lights up Andy Andrews' eyes as he knows he should if he wants to live. Hey, happy birthday, dude. Hope it's been a good one. From Evely Music.
Thank you, Emily. Appreciate you, brother.
From Bats. I think formerly Bats says, some people have an interesting story that they can work as a self-insert. Most people don't, though. Yeah, that's very true.
Well, that's the thing. So to your point from earlier, where you said if people take different facets of themselves, because most people who are actually interesting are multifaceted, right? And so they can piece out different things. You want to flesh out characters more than just being like super tropey, ideally, but you can do that and put different things. Ideally, you really want to think about people you actually have met and had experience with. And it's like, okay, maybe I'll draw a little bit of them into this character, maybe a little bit of myself. You want to mix things around because you do want to try and create unique people, but those unique people can be an amalgamation of people that you know, yourself included. Same thing when it comes to experiences. When we talk about self-inserts in storytelling, a lot of times, it is often in a negative light because the mainstream has this habit of having this hard push for characters that are absolutely just self-inserts. And the big problem isn't just that they're a self-insert, it's that it's a self-insert from people who aren't interesting. Oh, you're a quadriplegic. That's the only thing people know about you. Okay, that's the big selling point for this character. I don't care. Who is this person? I don't care that they're in a wheelchair. Why are they interesting? If this person is just a self-insert of you and you're not interesting, like, then the character isn't interesting and nobody's going to care about them.
Well, one of the things that I thought about too that can work very well and oftentimes does work very well is you start off with characters who are hella fucking tropey. And as the journey goes on, depending on how long the story is, they get less tropey. They become more human. They start because having a trope or like being super tropey can be a character flaw. The overly brash, arrogant guy, you know, the super quirky, I don't want to like put myself out there like girl character, or like, you know, the super timid like guy. Like you could start off super tropey. Actually, it brings like Izuku Midoriya from like My Hero Academia, like the super timid, and like by the end of it, he becomes not that tropey, and I think that can work very well. The self-insert though. The self-insert works under very, very few circumstances, in my opinion. I've got one more here. And this just got put up in just the last few minutes. But from Liu, Eric just got done with the stream. Must be like quiet in a hospital to these guys.
Not me totally checking Teams over the last 20 minutes just to see if there's any new news happening.
Hey guys, what's going on at the Rippaverse? All quiet at the Rippaverse, or do you need to get going to work on something that needs to be rushed out in the next 12 hours?
A telltale sign. So I've been thinking. Shit.
So I've been thinking, fuck.
What's due in 48 hours?
I just want to hear Eric to be like, so I was thinking of buying a trucking company so that way we could just, ship our own stuff instead of relying on other people.
Ripple wheels.
That day might come.
Right. Fucking
You say that. I have literally driven the truck to San Antonio.
It's true.
I have done it. Eric was like, "Are you comfortable with driving this truck?" And I was like, "Yeah, sure." And then I was driving the truck.
So, all right, guys, sign off in whatever order you so feel. I'll let Carol decide it because she's your boss. And tell us where we can find you guys, what you do, and so on.
We will start with Andrew because it is his birthday, his big coming out day, and then we will do Igor and me, and then we will do Royce.
Oh, goodness gracious. Okay. Well, all right. I'm going to pretend to look smart here to make up for the fact that I'm not smart. Guys, thank you so much for being here. We appreciate you all. The show's a ton of fun. Royce, thank you for having us again. Specifically me, because I know that I give you a lot of grief, but it's fun. It's mutual, right?
It's a mutual
and therefore cyclical, and that's okay. That's just our relationship. But I appreciate you so much, brother. I appreciate you, chat. Guys, please, if it so behooves you, check out Rippaverse.com and check out Rippazine #5. That is my short story debut with the Rippaverse. My short story is called Blue Shift Tryouts. It is the introduction, an early years introduction of our Rippaverse speedster, whose name is Zephyr Arland. And he is starting a new chapter in his life as a Except, so the superpowered beings in our universe, on his first day being allowed to go to a normal school. And that's going to come with a lot of hurdles. That's going to come with a lot of speed bumps. Yes, those puns are deliberate. That doesn't have an off switch. It's going to be a fun story. I think you guys are going to have a lot of fun with it. There are a lot of teases for what's to come in the future. Should people say, hey, we want more of this Zephyr kid, and not just the funny little tongue-in-cheek pigeon strips that you write in the zine. Or maybe you'll tell me you just want those. That's okay, too. Please check that out, though. It's only $8 for the standard edition. If you're a Rippaverse online website member, which is $5 a month, lowest tier for that, you get a free copy of the latest Rippazine. Please consider checking that out. The story is deliberately meant to appeal to a younger audience, so like the preteen and up, as opposed to most of our books up till now had been like year 16 and up. I wanted something that is drawing more upon the audience that the books that I grew up with were. So like your Teen Titans and things like that. So I'm really trying to grow our audience with a story that can be heartfelt, lighthearted, grow over time, and still tell serious stories. But if you give it a shot, I sincerely appreciate you.
Awesome. Igor.
Yeah, so thanks for having me, Royce.
Of course,
it was really fun. As
glad I got
nice to be on the other side.
You.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The time zone thing is kind of like tricky. Well, it was the
Right.
first time when we had the other guys, I couldn't be here. Now with like a baby and another one, the way it's kind of difficult too. But yeah, we'll manage. So yeah, go like check out like the Rippaverse stuff. I'm also working on a project with Paul Thayer from Project Niosis. If anyone wants to follow that, we'll probably release this year. It's called Little Leopard #1. So if anyone wants to find that on Kickstarter, can find me on Twitter at Igor Chakal, Chakal. So I'm there posting drawings and stuff like that. Yes, so that's it. Thanks for having me. Thanks for hanging out, guys.
Hello, my name is Kara Brown, the executive assistant over at Rippaverse. I do whatever Eric tells me to do, and I remind him what he's supposed to do. Since we're all pitching something, I had a story that came out in Ripazine 3. It's called Dirty Deeds. It follows a ragtag space crew as they do dirty work, but you can't tell if it's for good or bad, depending on your morals and how you think about those things. So if you'd like to give it a buy, they're still available on the website. And since we're talking about finding out things on live stream, I found out that I actually get to write the series for this on a live stream where Eric just accidentally slipped it. And I was like, wait, what? And he was like, oh yeah, we're going to do that. And I was like, oh, cool. That's great. I guess I'll start writing.
I thought it was going to be something else.
No. So that's the thing. And that's me. Thanks for having me.
That's awesome. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm a Drink with Crazy. You already be here. You know where to find me. And I got, as long as everything goes well, Michael Bancroft this Thursday.
Oh, yeah.
And then I believe next Monday, I got Daniel P. Riley, and we're going to have a fun thing for you guys in the chat, but we'll announce that a little later. Ladies and gentlemen, it's been a Drink with Crazy. Oh, my God. Oh, thank you guys so much for showing up. It was awesome to sit down with everybody. It's awesome to meet Igor, which, by the way, congratulations on the babies. He mentioned he had the babies. Ladies and gentlemen, you congratulate Igor on the little ones.
Yes.
You need more goats.
Thank you.
You need more
It's gonna,
goats, Bryce.
well, yeah, I'd like to have more because I want to have food, but every time we get an animal, we're like, no, we
need
can't
more
make them
goats.
food. They're like, animals are friends, not food. I did not grow up with that mentality. I'm like, nah, animals are...
So that's why Albany sticks with the spiders, because she knows you're not likely to eat those.
I mean, you
Fuck
can.
you, I would deep fry the shit out of a spider
Yeah.
if
Oh
I
my
knew how
God,
to make it
there
good.
it is.
I eat the fuck out of anything. I give a damn. I give a damn.
It's like calamari, but it's
I've heard they're extra
insect.
crunchy.
real. You know,
I mean, they're
I'm good.
upstairs. You can go
I'm
find
good,
out,
actually.
right?
I can't-
Go find out. Tell us about it.
Some of them, we have some very like poisonous ones. They're not poisonous to humans, so that's good.
Most spiders aren't poisonous to humans, aside from you might get a little rash.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you all so much for tuning into A Drink with Crazy. Join me on Thursday night with Michael Bancroft. And as always, until next time, cheers, everybody.